Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new superhero movie, The Flash. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand drawn and I like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This movie stars Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, Sasha Calle, and Michael Shannon. It is directed by Andy Muschietti. This is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. So the plot pertains to the Flash, who uses his speedster powers to travel between worlds. He decides to go back and save his mother. However, he soon realizes his actions have unintended consequences, and now he has to figure out how he can undo everything. So, this is a decade late, which is insane. Fans shouldn't have to wait this long, and this had to deliver because the trailer was filled with WTF moments. Some famous people have come out saying this is the best thing since sliced bread, and whenever someone does that, proceed with caution. The last time someone did that was for the Eternals, and that was a hot piece of shit. Not even regular shit, but hot, like it just came out of the oven, steaming. And if someone does that, it's a masterpiece, or B, they need to drum a pipe to make people turn out so it's a hit at the box office. And I have a feeling it's B. I personally did not find this to be the masterpiece as it was falsely advertised. It is entertaining, I had a good time, but it does have some flaws. So, The Flash was under a lot of pressure and had a monumental task to deliver a good origin story and be a bright spot for the DCEU. The good thing is, the first act gets right into it with a very entertaining long action sequence, but it's unable to maintain that momentum in the second act, and there were times where the excitement was gone and just loses steam, but then it picks up again in the third act. Whenever we deal with the second Barry, I feel like all progression goes out the window. Next are the performances. They're strong all around. Everyone was very likable, and I thought Ezra did a good job pulling double duty. The special effects for the two flashes look great, and it was probably only noticeable in one or two scenes where something seemed off, including one part where his wig was crooked. Okay. So the suit with the colors changing looked amazing, and Ezra juggled the comedy along with some heartfelt scenes really well. But to me, the MVP standout performance is actually Maribel Verdú, who plays his mother. As soon as she spoke, there was this gentle warmth to her performance, and she made the relationship very believable. And I just wish we got more scenes with her. Next is Michael Keaton. He's excellent, and I'll just always have a soft spot for his Batman because I watched the 1989 film religiously as a kid, and this almost seemed like a second chance for him to finish the trilogy he never got. He had some great action sequences, and his wig looked amazing. I liked revisiting all his old tech, which were upgraded slightly, and he's the second one here that gets the most screen time. I didn't expect that, and I'm glad he did. He's essential because there are certain things that can't happen without him, and a lot of what makes this movie unique is the nostalgia factor, but I don't know if seeing Keaton as Batman will resonate with an 8-year-old kid who never saw the original. Supergirl was good, and I was hoping she'd have a larger part, but she actually doesn't show up till close to the end of the second act. She did the most with the little time that she had, and wherever they decide to go with her from here, I would be excited to see her reprise her role and expand on her next adventure. Now, for me, the scenes I liked the most were some of the quieter moments between the characters. I actually wish we got more of that. It helped establish certain relationships and even gave a little window into where people were at. There's one with Ben where we got a sense of how alone Barry was, and there were also unexpected scenes in the third act with a lot of heart. You may possibly get choked up, and there was one in particular that was really crushing, and going into this, I didn't expect it to have any heart. Next, this movie really should have been titled Flash Cameo Palooza or Flash Easter Egg Palooza. There are tons of fan service that I think hardcore fans will really enjoy. I was actually surprised by some of it, and I don't want to spoil anything, but Ben already mentioned this publicly about Wonder Woman, so I was very happy to see her. I won't tell you what she does, but it was a delight, and her theme song is blasting as well. So I'm still secretly hoping that we get her trilogy. So there are some cons, and this movie has action, comedy, and heart, but I think it struggled a bit to maintain consistency. They leaned way too much into the comedy when the second Barry arrives, and it really at that point was overkill. I thought they had trouble reining him in, and I just found him to be goofy and rather exhausting. The CGI here is also very questionable. It was all over the place, and I'm not sure if it was a stylistic choice to balance out the humor. It has a video game look to it, especially when he's traveling through multiverses, and for some reason, the Flash still can't run. It just seemed comical most of the time, and they made him have such a big booty, like they blew his ass up unnecessarily. Okay. Okay. Also, I had issues with most of the costumes. Barry never looked like he was wearing a real suit to me, and when you see the non-CGI bat suits up close, it looks so cheap and poorly made. I did like the continuity of the same actors like Ben and Iris West reprising their roles, but they do kind of get shortchanged here along with the villains, and I just wish everyone had more scenes. If they ever release an extended cut, I would definitely buy the Blu-ray in a heartbeat. Now, I also thought the plot wasn't groundbreaking. The multiverse is really overused at this point, and if anyone's familiar with the Flash CW show or the Flashpoint animated movie, they can probably predict the outcome. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there is one villain here. There is more than one villain here, and I actually didn't even think they would address the other villain, but they do. Lastly, my biggest complaint, and this ruined the whole movie for me, which is the last 20 to 30 minutes. It becomes a big CGI party, and they literally throw in everything, including the kitchen sink. All of it is on screen, and it was crazy because my eyes were overworked and I didn't know where to look. Also, the last 30 seconds of this movie just didn't seem right. It's green screen related, and it just seems like something else was originally shot in its place and it just wasn't used. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and because the last 30 minutes was so over the top, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. After all the hype and drama, it did deliver, but it is by no means a masterpiece on any level. It's a perfectly serviceable summer popcorn movie. It's well made and has a lot of fan service. I personally don't know if I would watch this again at the movies, and I usually know about repeat viewings with superhero movies, but I'm undecided here. However, I'd still recommend this to be seen on the big screen regardless. After this long wait, there's no need to see this at home, so support your local movie theaters. Now, thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button, feel free to share this with your friends. And if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch it and illustrate it for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.